So what I'm going to try and do differently is I'm really trying to go for speed. So I'm going to set a timer, 20 minutes, see if I can do this within 20 minutes. I'm going to read through the whole thing once I hit start the timer. And then I'm going to try and not to write out code, write down ideas and diagrams to help me think on paper. And then I'll write the code. So let's see if we can do that. Okay, so let's start the timer. Okay, so we're doing balanced brackets. This is a medium problem, and we're going to focus on this. So a bracket's considered to be any one of the following characters. So parentheses, squiggly brackets, and square brackets. Two brackets are considered to be a match pair if and I'm going to just read this out because I think it's going to help me think through what's going on. So I understand like matching pairs and stuff like that, but I'm just going to read and see if there's any interesting details. And then these are like talking points as you're in one of these interviews, because it's not all just about like writing the code. It's also talking through the problem and how you get there. Okay, so there's three types of matching pairs. A matching pair bracket is not balanced if the brackets it encloses are not matched. For example, this one is not matched because they are not not nested. It's not balanced. You've got to count the same number. I've done this type of problem before, but it's been a while. You've got to count the same number and then pop them off and get the same results to know if it's balanced. So this sounds like we're going to be using a stack. So let's get the iPad going. So that example, just to like get some context, we are going to start here. And so that's an open, that's an open, that's an open. And now we're seeing a close, but we haven't seen the inner close. So if I was sort of modeling this, I think it's a stack. So I'm going to put on my squiggly, I'm going to put on my square bracket, I'm going to put on my parenthesis. And now once we start seeing the close brackets, that's when we start popping things off. So we see the close, we pop off. So we pop. And in this case, we get this. Well, these two not balanced. If we tried this with another approach that we went so let's just reverse those two. So here we're going to go and we're going to have our stack. We're going to curly brace it. We're going to square bracket. We're going to parenthesis it. And now we get our first closing bracket. So with a closing bracket, now we're going to evaluate. We're going to pop off. So we get that. It's a matching pair. So that's check. Then we read our square bracket. So let's pull that out and we pop. So we get that, and that's a match. And then we get our squiggly here. So we get a close bracket, and then we pop and we check. And so each time we're doing some kind of equality check here. Next question is, do I need to worry about invalid characters? No invalid characters. So we're only going to see these symbols. Okay. It's balanced if there's no unmatched. Oh, so that's the last check. Like, what if we didn't get that final one and we still had something here? So this needs to be empty. This okay, so the subset. Okay, we're almost 5 minutes in, and we're just reading and taking notes. So the subset of brackets enclosed within the confines of a matched pair of brackets is also a matched. What does that mean? A subset of brackets enclosed within the confines of a matched pair of brackets. Are they talking about the situation where we have an outer bracket and then we're going to have arrays of arrays? So in this situation, we insert onto our thing, we insert, then we see this, so we pop that, then we get this, which is an insert, so we put a new one on, then we get that, so we pop this and we match, and so these two are checking. We do it one more time, we see this, so we're right here, so that's our end. Sorry, we put that on, then we see this, our end, we pop the thing here, go left, check it, and then we get our last symbol, which is the squiggly, which means we pop this and we check it and it's good. Then we check to see is empty and we're good. Given n strings of brackets to determine whether each sequence of brackets is balanced. If a string is balanced, return yes, otherwise return no. And then complete the function is balanced in the editor to below. Is balanced has the following parameters: string s, a string of brackets. String is either yes or no as return. So we're returning yes or no, all caps. Okay, n lines. So there could be 1,000 lines, and S is less than 1,000 characters. Okay, and so for each one, we just return the value. So this one's balanced, this one's not. And then this one is one big balanced. Yes. Okay, so I think it's time to write some code. Do we have any starter code? I'm gonna need to take a real quick break. Oh, I didn't start my timer. So how much time is left? Now let's just keep going. I'll take a break at the end. Okay, so I have that has been 9 minutes. So I have 11 minutes starting. I just wasted 10 seconds. Okay, so I got an 11-minute timer going. Oh, so I'm gonna have to code up my own stack as well. Okay. Can I leverage a stack? Is there a stack? I don't think there's a stack. Is there a stack I can use? Stack Swift. Okay. I just wanted to get into this and this. There is DQ. I'm wondering if I could use that. Deck. I see pop first, but I don't see pop last. Is this overriding something else? I see pop first, pop last. So we could use a DQ. Could do that. I think for practice, I'm not going to use it initially, but we might come back to this. So let's get the challenge back up. Okay, so to do a stack, so we want to do these three things. We want to append to the front, pop from the front, and peek. Let's create a node. It's going to have, and what is our input here? It's a character, so it's a string. So let's, I messed up my timers. Of course I did. So I'm like 4 minutes. Yikes. Okay. Wasted a little bit of time, but it looks like, and if I wanted to use DQ, it's from Swift Collections. I'm a little uncertain how to import that. So Swift DQ module, deck module. I might not be able to, like, I don't know. That's a question. but they probably just want us to make this. So let's go ahead and do this. So var value, let's see. So we're always going to have a symbol. Now we're going to have next. The saving thing. I just got to get used to this. Okay, I've got 9 min. I didn't hit restart. Okay, so we'll just see. It's probably closer to 25 minutes with my current timers. So if top is equal to null, nil, that means it's empty. So then top is going to equal a new node, symbol, symbol. Then I think we can just return. That's our base case. Okay, so we got our base case. Otherwise, we want to just insert. So we create top.next. Let's just say current is equal to top. And then we're going to say top is equal to a node symbol, next. Next is going to be our current. And so what we're trying to do here is, this is where I think sketching is helpful. So in the base case, we've got top is equal to nil. So then we just say top equals some element. And then this is pointing to nil. So that's our one case. Now, in this case, if top is not nil, so let's say we're in that case here, that top is pointing to this. What am I doing? I'm going to have and say this is current. So I have a temporary variable. And then I'm going to say, okay, I want to create a new node with our new symbol. Let's do a bracket. We're going to say that next is equal to current. So we're going to point to here. And then we're going to say top is now here. Okay, so I think that works for me. We need a comma here. And then I think that's it. So function peak. This is going to be a string question mark. And we're just going to return top dot symbol. Then function pop. So we need to say top is equal to the next one. So now we have to just going to draw it in a stack formation, like a stack of pancakes. So what we want to do is we want to return this value. And then we want to remove top to point here. So that's going to advance us, but we need to get the actual value. And so then we return it. I think that's all we need. Okay, I've got 4 minutes. So we're just going to do a test run, see if we can compile. Compiling about initializer. So we stub it out just so we have a placeholder, just to make sure that we can like actually run stuff. Well, we didn't pass any of our test cases by just doing that. But we do have our output. And what I really want to do is do custom outputs. How does the output need to get structured? Just one, and then so then if is open, I'm going to create a variable called isOpen brackets. Okay, so we're at like 25 minutes-ish. Set timer for 10 more minutes. Hopefully I can do it in the next 5. Okay, so that's our way of detecting. So then we can just say if is open bracket, we pass in the symbol, and we have to convert it to a string, I think, because it's a character. Then we do something else if is closed brackets. Are we ever going to have invalid input? I think we won't. So I might not need this. Oh no, I didn't do that. Okay, so otherwise we're going to have bad inputs, and I think we're protected against that in this case. So now all I have to do is say stack dot append symbol. We have a base case here. I'm going to create a function here that'll give me an expected open symbol. So you pass it a symbol. So if you give it this, then it's going to give you the reverse. Okay, so this will return us the symbol, or it will return nil if we don't have one. Okay, so I'm going to say stack.pop. Already did that. So in this case, it's going to be a failure. So we're just going to return no. And I think that might be it. And here, not enough symbols. I'm going to say return no. Let's run our test cases. Cool. I think we got it. So we're at around 35 minutes. Yeah, it wasn't too bad to implement our own stack. I think just going through that, I could have done this faster. And then just looking over our work, do we need to run through any examples? Like I did a simple example. Let's do my test cases. So my just to show that this was working. So if we tried popping, how would this work? I think, man, it's really hard to see this. If I run my code. Is it this case? Yeah, there we get the not enough symbols because we have the unbalanced brackets. All right, so that is how to work through it. If we turn off my test code and we run it one more time, we should see the default tests that get run and those all pass. So that's good. And we basically just did any of the error cases we would clean up and return. I kept this in because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, but I think all of the inputs should be valid. So like if that wasn't the case, then this would be okay. So that's something that's probably safe to remove. But I don't know. I feel wrong not making sure that it's good input because I know that that's really easy to do. We got a few functions here just to help out that would give me stuff. And just some lookups. So that's it. So if this was helpful or you learned something, click the like button and I will see you in the next video. I'm just prepping for interviews, so going through different data structures, implementing them in Swift, using optionals and stuff like that. I'll see you later.